Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be making an automatic wood farm. This farm can produce 4 different types of woods, those being oak, birch, spruce and jungle. It can produce them at over 6,000 logs per hour. Anyway, without further ado, let's build this farm. Alright, so before you start building, you might want to gather the materials, and they are, as you can see on screen now. And there are a few things I want to mention about these. First of all, the spruce fence gates. They don't have to be spruce, can be oak, birch, whatever, doesn't really matter. The stripped oak log doesn't have to be stripped, doesn't have to be oak, can be any type of log. The colors of things such as glass, terracotta, and I believe there's a bit of wool here. They can be anything, any color rather. These water buckets, they are for an infinite water source, so you might want to get a few more buckets if you don't want to just keep using these two. And some temporary blocks might be a good idea, and for that I'm using yellow wool. Anyway, let's get on to the build now. Also, the first thing you're going to want to do is get a dirt, some dispensers and some droppers, as well as some of your temporary blocks. Then with your temporary blocks, build up 4, so that's 4 there, and then place your dirt. And then you're going to want to come down, or you don't even need to drop down, but just kind of place that on the 3rd block. So this is the 4th here, this is the 3rd, 2nd, 1st, it's on the 3rd. Then build up 2 more like that, and then place your dispenser. Alright, so once you've placed in that dispenser, you're going to want to come to the back side like this, and then place 2 hoppers just like this, facing into the dropper, and then place 3 more just facing all into each other. Then you might want to pile up a couple blocks just so you can get up here, and then place some chests like this. This is where your bone meal is going to be going, and yeah, you can basically do anything you like with this storage, shulker box unloaders, but I'm just going to use the chest like this. Alright, so once you've got your chest in place like this, you're going to want to come over to the other side, over here, get a note block, place it like that, with a building block right on top of it. And then you're going to want to build out 2 temporary blocks, break this first one, and then place an observer. Now we're going to pile up so we can reach the top of this block, place an observer facing into there, and then just at the bottom of this block, we're going to want to place another one facing that way. Then also you're going to want a sticky piston under this one, just like that. And you can break that block and you should be all good. Alright, so once you've got your observers in place, you're going to want to swing over to the other side here, place 2 temporary blocks coming off of the middle observer, and then if we build up a bit, place a dropper coming off of that 2nd temporary block. Now we break the 1st temporary block and place an observer facing into it just like that. Then we can break this 2nd temporary block now and place a barrel facing like that. It shouldn't matter which way it faces because barrels don't get blocked by other blocks when they're opening, but I don't know, that just looks good aesthetically. Once you've got your barrel in place, you can go on and face an observer into that with a sticky piston facing down. Then you want to put another observer facing outwards towards the horizon over there, and then a block just like this, and then you can remove that one. And then another block just between the sticky piston and the block you just placed with a repeater on it facing towards the sticky piston. Then on the other side of this block, you will place 2 blocks like that, get your temporary blocks so you can build one like that, and then 2 repeaters facing this way with this 2nd one on 3 ticks of delay. Now on this block, you're going to put a trapdoor like that with 2 scaffolding on top of it. Alright, now that you've got all this in place, you can go ahead and test a bit of it by just opening this barrel and then closing it shortly after. Now don't do this too quickly, otherwise it will break the system and you'll have to rebuild it. Or what it breaks is this, it just leaves it down over here, something like that. All you'll have to do is remove it and place it above again. Now to turn that annoying clicking off, you just go back into the barrel and close it again. And that's your on and off switch for the farm. Now you can grab some more hoppers and face one into the barrel just like that, and then come over to this scaffolding and come out like that, break this block, and then face some hoppers just like that, and then another one second from the right like that, and we're also going to want one on top of that just like this. And that's your hoppers. So basically if you don't pick up an item, it can go over to some storage here, so you can place some chests or something there. Now after placing these hoppers in, you're going to build up to the top of the farm so you can access this dropper right here. Face one hopper out, coming out this way, so where these ones are facing, and then one just like that with another one facing into there. Now you build out two more like this with some facing this way, so three facing that way, and then some more coming out this way until you're in line with that one. So two more like this, and that is what it should look like. Now grab two of your glass blocks, place one coming out off of this dirt and one just next to it like that. Now come into this glass block, you're gonna place a block directly next to that hopper with a torch on the back side of it just here. And then you're gonna climb back up to the top and place a redstone dust on this mode just like that. And then also a glazed terracotta on top of that. Now with a second glazed terracotta, you place that on top of this observer here with then a comparator facing out of there, and then a repeater into the dropper, or dispenser rather. Now once you've got all this in place, you can test out if all this works by placing some items into this bottom chest and then coming over to the barrel here and opening it and then closing it. And then if all your items pop out, it works as it should. And then of course you can turn off the farm again. So after you've tested what you got so far works, then you can go on to getting your strip logs or normal logs, doesn't really matter, and placing all 6 of them on top of this glass block here, just like that. And then if we drop back down to the bottom, place a wool block behind the hopper that is directly behind this tower of wood and glass. We can place a sticky piston on top of it, facing towards the glass and wood tower. Now we're going to have to place 7 of these all on top of each other, so we might want to pillar up a bit and place it the right direction. Also, that might help. So one more, and there we go. We got 7 of them in total. And then if we again come back down to the bottom, we can get out some honey blocks and some slime blocks. And on this bottom block, we can place a honey block. And then on the 6 above it, we can place 6 slime blocks just like this. Then we can drop down to the bottom, break our temporary blocks, and then get on to the next part. Okay, so now you want to grab some redstone blocks and some redstone dust. And with the dust, you're going to place it on both hoppers either side of these towers. So one here and one here if I shift click. And then we can place it onto this mode here. And then if we build 2 blocks up directly next to it, we can place a redstone block on the side just like that. And then we can build up 6 more just like this, so we're 1 higher than these towers over here. Then we can drop back down and do the exact same thing on the other side. So 2 high, 1 redstone block there, and then if we get up here, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. And there we go. So after you've built these 2 redstone towers, you can again drop down to the bottom and then come over to the back side of either one first, doesn't matter which, but place 5 honey blocks in a line like this. So that's 3, 4, and 5. Then we place a layer of slime blocks on top, a layer of honey blocks, a layer of slime blocks, and we just keep alternating until we reach the top, just like this. And then you do the same on the other side. So after you have 2 walls of alternating honey and slime blocks, you can grab some of your fence gates. Again, doesn't matter what type of fence gate it is. And then next to these redstone blocks, we place some, and these will open automatically, and you don't need to worry about closing because they do need to be open. And then on the rest of these blocks, we also place some, but these will have to open manually. I'm just gonna place them all in first, and then I can worry about opening them. So there we go, they're all placed. And then now we can just open them all like this. And then once again, we're gonna have to do the same on the other side. So after you've got all your fence gates in place, you can again pick any side to start on, but I'm gonna pick this left one here, and then build over to the back of the wall just like this. Find the middle block, so count 3 in from either side, so 1, 2, and 3. Then come out 1 like this, and you might want to get some blocks just around to stand on. Break these ones, and then place a sticky piston facing into the wall like that. Then we're gonna have to do that all the way up. So if I grab my sticky pistons, place some more like that, build up some more, build some more supporting blocks, and then place some more just like that, all the way to the top. And then we can break all the temporary blocks. And once again, you might have guessed it, we're gonna do the same on the other side. Okay, so now coming back to the front here, we're going to get some of our temporary blocks and place them on the front of these redstone blocks, just like this. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. And as the name suggests, these are going to be temporary, they're not going to be a part of the build. But we do need them for what we are about to do now. So if we come to the back of either side, I'm going to start with the left, as you can see. And we come to this tower here. If we start on the left side, or the right side if you're starting on the right side, but basically the side that is closest to these redstone blocks, we're going to place a piston right here. So one just on the bottom and to the left. And then if we come up 1, we're going to place it here on the right side. If I move back a bit, so on the right side, and they're all going to be facing this way. But basically we're going to alternate, so left, right. This side we're going to do left again, just like this. Then we're going to do right. And of course you don't need to switch sides every time you do this. You could do it all in one hit, just skipping a block every time. But I think it's just easier to do it this way so I don't get confused. So we are just about reach the top, and one more on this side, and that should do us. And there we go. Now if we remove a bunch of these temporary blocks, we're going to need to place redstone blocks on the sides of each of these pistons. So if I just make room, there we go. We can place a redstone block here, here, if I jump here, here and here, and then on the other side as well, just like that. Then we can remove these temporary blocks and swing on over to the other side and do the exact same thing. So once you've got all that in place, this is what it should look like. So this is the one on the right hand side. Then if I swing on over here, this is the one on the left hand side. So that is just an idea of what it should look like. But once you've got all that in place, you can come back to the front here and remove all these temporary blocks. They were just there in place, so the redstone blocks with the pistons wouldn't push this whole wall in front. But now that they're all placed, it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, so I just realized I made a bit of a mistake before. The bottom line of fence gates, you're going to remove them and replace them with glass blocks just like this, because sometimes items can get stuck on here and these fence gates won't actually push them out of the way. But these glass blocks, since they are a full block, it will push them out of the way and they will then get collected. Alright, so once you fix that up with the glass on the two sides, again, you can pick either side to start on, and I'm going to go to the left, but we're going to do the same thing on both sides. So come to the back of these pistons, the tower again, and place a block on every second piston just like that. And then from the back of these pistons, we're going to place a block here. So just from the bottom one, diagonally under one. And we're also going to go diagonally under that one. So I'm going to have to drop down real quick, and then I will go back up because we're going to need to go upwards now. So we're just going to keep going diagonally upwards basically. So we're going down 2, then we go up, up again, up, up, and then we will stop at the top just like this. So we don't go one over like that. We can stop once we're one under the top block here. Then we want to remove these temporary blocks we used, and in their place we will place some redstone just like that. That basically makes a tower that goes all the way up, because if you didn't know, redstone signals can go through glass blocks like that. And there, once you got redstone on all of them, you can go ahead and do the same to the other side. Alright, so once you've built the diagonal towers of glass and redstone, you can stay down here because you're going to need to access this block right here. Well, actually, diagonally one under it like that. So place a building block diagonally under like that. Place 2 more going out this way, and then link that up with either side of this tower and then the next one. So we go on to this one first, so we place a block here and then diagonally up one, and then we'll go do the same on the other side. So build over so we're in line with it, build one across, and then diagonally up one like that. Okay, so once you've built this pathway, you're going to want to get on top of it so we can place some redstone in. So first of all, coming down from this block that we used as a reference point, the one that has a dust on top of it and then a torch on the back side of it, we're going to place a redstone repeater just like that on just the 1 tick delay. And then going towards the left side, we're going to place a straight line of redstone till we come to 2 blocks left. Then we're going to place a repeater on 2 ticks of delay. A stone brick here, you can remove this one, doesn't really matter if you keep it or remove it. Then we can place another repeater there, this time just 1 tick of delay. And then place another redstone dust there. Then on the other side it's a bit different, so you got to make sure you do it differently. Going to the right side now, we will place redstone dust coming all the way up until here. Then we'll place 1 repeater here on 1 tick delay, and then a redstone dust here. So the only difference is basically we don't have the repeater and block here. Okay, so once you've built the redstone line there, we're going to come over to this tower of pistons and slime and honey blocks here. We're going to build up to it first of all so we can access it, and then coming behind these 2 blocks here, we're going to build out 2 like this. So we just have 2 temporary blocks there, and those are so we can place pistons facing towards this way. Then if we break these 2 temporary blocks, place a building block here and then 2 below it just like that. Then we're also going to place another one behind it like that, with another one down like that, so it's kind of a bit of a staircase. And then coming here, this should be in line with the repeater, but we're going to go 1 to the left, place a block here, then go diagonally up 1. And this should create a nice little staircase that goes up to the left and then up like this. Now up here, we're going to place a repeater on 2 ticks of delay facing this building block. And then on every other block, we're just going to place some dust like this. And this is what it should look like once you're done. Alright, so once you've connected those things down there, you can actually go ahead and test the farm. But before you do that, you're going to place a comparator here. Because I completely forgot to do that, you're going to have to place a comparator facing away from this dirt into this glazed terracotta. And then also you're going to make sure everything else is in place, because I just tested it before and this redstone here, the one on top of this glass block, that was missing and it kind of mucked up the farm. But I managed to reassemble it nice and easily and it should all work now. So if I place some bone meal in here, turn on the farm first of all, and then place a sapling here, the farm should work. So if I do that, bam bam, and there we go. So this birch pillar moved away one, and all the leaves for the most part are gone. So off the sides they're gone, top and front it's still left, but that's alright. And there should also be some birch in here, maybe not this time, but if we do it again there might be some. Well, I got stuck in the thing. But yeah, you can see some birch there coming through. But now that it all works, we can go ahead and build the rest of the farm. Okay, so once your farm is working as it should, we can then go ahead and grab some more glazed terracotta and come to either side of this piston tower and then just build up like this. So we're just going to keep building up a pillar of 2 until we get to this level here, so one above, and we can also place one on top of the piston. Then we'll just do the same on the other side like this and up to the same level just like that. And this is just to make sure none of the saplings like get flung out. Now we'll also have to do that on this side. Oh no, I kind of fell. Anyway, as I was saying, we're also going to have to do that on this side. But the difference is we're going to have to leave a block in the middle. So where that temporary block is, that's just going to be an empty hole. And that's to allow the logs to pass through there. Anyway, so we're going to build this up to the same height once again. So just the top of here. Then we will still place a block in the middle here because the logs won't pass through this block. But then we can build up to the same height. And that is the walls done, and we can move on to making a switch for oak logs. Okay, so if you want to farm oak logs in this farm, then you're going to have to do a bit of an extra step. And that is just because we don't want the massive trees growing in this farm, and we need to restrict that by placing a block. You can do that manually, but in my opinion, it's better to automate it. So I'm going to be showing you how to automate it. So from the top of this logs here, we're going to go 3 up and then place a stone brick right here. Then on top of that stone brick, we're going to place a slime block, then an extra one coming the same way as these logs. And we don't want that slime block connecting to anything, so I'll just remove that block there. Then if we build 2 up on either side, doesn't really matter, because we're going to have 2 blocks like that. So we can just place some sticky pistons like this. Once those sticky pistons are in place, you're going to swing over to this side, so the right side of the farm, and place a glazed terracotta here, and then also in line with the building block there. And then with some normal building blocks, you can build out 2 like this, and then 1 extra here. Now for the redstone, we're just going to be placing 3 dust like this, and then a repeater here on 2 ticks delay. And then a lever here so we can control it, and then we can remove all these blocks because they are just going to be in the way. Now when we flick this, it will extend it down right there, and then if we flick it again, it'll come back up and be in line how it was before. Now the only problem with this is that the lever's up here. You can keep it up here and just build up here or fly up here with some elytra every time. But in my opinion, I think it's better to put the lever down there, and I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So if we drop down, there we go. Alright, so once you're at the bottom, then you can come to this scaffolding over here. So the right one, build out 3, and then on top of it, you're going to place 1 of your building blocks. Then on that building block, you can go ahead and place a lever with a torch on top of it. And this lever will turn off that torch and then turn it back on. And that is going to be the control for our torch tower. So now we just gotta build torches and blocks all the way up like this. So just every time you can place a block, you do that with a torch on top. Then you're just gonna have to go all the way up until you're basically in line with that. Alright, so I've extended these blocks a bit more this way, and now we can see that we're just about in line. So if we build one more up, we are in line now. Then all we gotta do is connect this up like that, and you can see those extend downwards. But if we don't want to farm oak logs, then we just flip this, and as you heard and can now see, those blocks have gone back up. If I flip it again, it'll come back down and then back up. So there you go, that's how the torch tower works. Pretty simple. Okay, so next we're going to work on the TNT Duper, and for that we're going to first of all come over to this scaffolding here and place 21 more on top of it. So it might be a bit easier if you split your stack so you only have 21 in hand. Then we just place them all above like this, so all the way up to 21. There we go. Okay, so now if you come to the top of the scaffolding you just built, and be a bit careful so you don't fall, but you're going to have to place a block just kind of under you, just so you can kind of maneuver around and do these next few things. So first of all, you're going to place an observer facing into that top scaffolding with a piston facing out of it going this way. Then once you place that piston, you're going to place another observer facing that way, and then a building block just in front of it like that. Then on the end of that building block, another sticky piston, and then a slime block on that sticky piston, just like that. Now below this slime block, you're going to place another observer, but this one's going to be facing towards the temporary block there, so just like that. And as you can see, the red end of the observer is facing towards there, and if we were to break this, it would get activated. Alright, so after putting this observer in place, you're going to come over a block, so temporary block here, and then diagonally across like that. Then we're going to go over two more like this, two more again this way, and then we're going to go three this way, so you should line up directly with the observer there. And then you're going to place one more block here facing towards the observer. Then with some repeaters, we're going to place one here, 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 and then lastly here. Then all of these you're going to want to put on full 4 ticks of delay. So once you've got your repeaters in place, then you can place 3 blocks on these corners like that. And then coming off of this corner here, you're going to place a block here with a repeater on top of it. This one you don't need to put on 4 ticks of delay, just leave it as it is. Then coming off of that block, you're going to place another block with a sticky piston facing off the front of it and the bottom of it. So the bottom of it might be a bit more tricky to get to, but we will try our best. I might go over and grab this line of wool so I'm a bit lower down, just so I can reach it a bit better. And if I just go into Elytra mode, maybe I will be able to reach that and face it the right way, just like that. Now below this piston, you're going to place an observer, but this again is a bit of a tricky one to get to, so I'm going to create a new line of wool so I can get to it much easier, and I can break all of this one because it will be in the way. But if we just manage to get ourselves under here, we can face an observer into that sticky piston like that, and then we can break these. So once you got these pistons and observers in place, we can then build the actual TNT Duper. And for that, we're going to place a slime block on the edge of the sticky piston with one under it and one in front, just like that. Then we're going to come from that one with one to the side, and then 2 more like that. Then if we build on to the top here, we're going to place a detector rail like that with a minecart on top of it, and then a cobblestone wall just here. Now if we drop back down a bit and go over to the other side, we're going to place our coral and our TNT. Now this is always a bit scary placing the TNT, but if you place it just under the wall, it shouldn't get activated. Now once we got the TNT in place, we're going to need to put some more blocks in to basically align it when it's activated. And for that, we're going to place a block here and then one under it. So I might need to go into Elytra mode again, and maybe I'll just place a block here. And then on the other side, we're just going to place a Glazed Terracotta on this block here. But that is not all. We're going to then place a fence gate here, open, with cobblestone walls on either side. And the fence gate's just there to make sure these walls attach to something and it's not just kind of standing on its own like this. So yeah, keep the fence gates in place. Then beneath that fence gate, we're going to need to place 2 more. And for that, I'm going to have to get some more height on it. So I'm going to go down a bit more. And height was probably the wrong word of choice there, because I am going down. But yeah, if we go down a bit more, we should be able to get those 2 blocks in place. Alright, here we are. Here's the fence gate. Now we just place 2 under it like that. Now underneath this observer here, we're going to leave a block space and then place a building block just like that. And then from that block, we're going to come down like this and 3 blocks across just like that. So it should look something like this, bit of an L without the corner. Now on top of these blocks, we're going to put repeaters, and then they are all going to be on 4 ticks of delay. And then beneath this block here, we're going to be placing a couple sticky pistons. So one here and then one on the side like this. Then with some observers, we're going to place one facing this way, then the other right here. Then on top of this observer, we're going to place a couple blocks and then a couple on the side as well. Then on these 2 blocks, we're going to place a repeater on 3 ticks, a repeater on 1 tick, and then place a block here and one here. Then with these blocks in place, we're going to come down one from this one, so just like that. Then build that 3 across and then 1 up like this. Then on these blocks, we're going to put 3 repeaters, all on full delay, just like that. Then off of this block, we're going to place 3 more blocks just like that, going into this trapdoor, and these are all going to be on full 4 ticks of delay again. Now, as a bit of a precaution from wandering traders spawning up here and then moving the minecart out of place, we're just going to place some blocks here like this. And that just makes it so the wandering trader spawns here and not on top of the minecart. Okay, so after building all that up there, you can come back down to the bottom, and now we're going to build our collection system. And for that, we're going to start off by digging, because mine is going to be under the ground because I built this level with the ground and I want my collection system to be in the ground. But if you want your collection system to be off the ground, then you'll just base your whole build off of that. But anyway, the collection system is going to be from here down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 more, 5. So the floor is going to be on the 6th here. Then we're going to base everything off of our center block. So from this block, we're then going to go 5 more this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then 1 more, and this is our center block right here. So I'm going to place a yellow wool just so we know. So from this center block, you're then going to want to dig out 8 every single direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we will dig out 8 in this direction also. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we will join the 2 sides up to form a big old square. So if I just dig all this out, then we should be able to see that they join up. So there, as you can see, after I dug out all of that stone that was in the way, these 2 sides connect up perfectly to form a square. Now we're just going to have to do that for the entire area. And then also we're going to have to remove all the blocks on top. So it's basically a massive square that has direct skylight access like this. So once you're done clearing the hole, this is what it should look like. 8 from the middle block on every single side, and then just everything cleared with direct sky access. Now the next thing we're going to do is come over to whatever edge you want. It doesn't matter which side you start on, but dig an extra one out, but leave the bottom layer like that. So just like this, and then on the corners here, so we're going to go like this. We're going to leave it 2 high like that. So everywhere it's just 1 high, except for the 3 corner blocks where it's going to be 2 high. And that's going to be the same on every side. So if we go this way, I believe there's actually a bit of water behind here, so I'm going to have to clear a bit of that real quick, just like this. Alright, that water should be out of our way now. So yeah, everything's 1 high up until the corner where it's 2 high, and then we're actually going to have to remove a bit more water and then clear this, and then do it on the other 2 sides. So once you've done that on every side, it should look a little something like this. And of course, if you're building it out of the ground, it will, well, be out of the ground. Quite self-explanatory, but anyway, next is to place in the waters. So along these walls, we're just going to place water on every block besides the final 2 that are closest to the corner. So not this one, or these ones. So starting from this one, we'll just place it every 2 like this. Then once you get to the corner, we're just going to place it on the second high one. So just like that. And that's going to be the same in every corner. So then skip 2, place them again, refill, keep going. Just, you're going to have to keep doing this process. And if you have more water buckets, of course, it might be a bit easier. But I'm just going to deal with the 2. And there we go. That's what a complete side should look like. Just like that. Then I'm going to do it again on the other side. Now, for your storage system, you can really do a number of things, but I'm just going to keep it fairly simple for now. I might expand on it a bit later on. But basically, you're going to want to put some sort of water stream down here, because just putting 1 hopper here will clog up the system. So you might want to put a water stream with then a number of hoppers. And if I stop bouncing, I could actually get under here and then build, say, 3 hoppers like this facing into these blocks, and then out of those we will have chests. So if I just block this up, something like this, then place chest here, and then 1 here like that. Then you could of course make them double chests, but I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. And yeah, you probably want to make these half slabs or something, because otherwise these will get in the way. Alright, there we are, got some half slabs. Now if I just place them like that, the water will not flow here, and the items and the chest will still be able to be open. So now if we give the farm a test run, all the wood should come down here, and yeah, the farm should work. Alright, just before you start your farm, there are a couple things that I forgot to mention, or just forgot, to be honest. First thing is that over here, below your TNT duplicator, I left out this redstone dust here, and you're going to have to place that in, otherwise all this won't get powered. And also, I thought it was worth mentioning that this repeater here, while I said it can be on 1 tick delay, which it definitely still can, the rate the TNT fires at is quite fast like that. And just to avoid any complications and just to slow down the rate of fire, put it on 4 ticks of delay and you'll see the difference there. So now with all that done, the farm is complete, and as you can see, it is working perfectly. And just before I finish off the episode, I would like to mention that this farm is not my design, and it is by Ilmango. And also I would like to tell you what the rates of this farm are. So for the birch logs, it's about 12,000 logs per hour. For spruce, it's about 8,750 logs per hour. Jungle, 8,250. And oak, also 8,250 logs per hour. So those are some pretty good rates. and hopefully you will get some good use out of this farm. And I hope you also got some good use out of this video. I enjoyed making it. It is a bit of a different style to what I do normally, but it was a good challenge for me. So I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. But until next time, later guys.